Well, hello, 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 and welcome to another episode of Ladies Listen Up. Today, we are going to ask, what is your relationship with your money? Before we get started, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Share this information with somebody else. Make sure that you are sharing this information. We're getting so many reviews or folks just coming back telling me that they are really applying some of the tools and techniques that we're talking about, especially about our money. We have all types of segments, but people are asking about wow, these little tips about our money is really working. It's making a difference even just this short period of 2023. So let's go ahead and go on over to Grandma's Cookie Jar, because Grandma's Cookie Jar has a multitude of tips in it, right? When we talk about the grandma's cookie jar secret, because we talk about all of the good recipes that grandmas had in their cookie jar. The recipe cards had a little sprinkle of vanilla, a little sprinkle of ginger, and all those different things on it. But grandma's cookie jar also was packed with wisdom. One thing that I super regret is that I did not sit at the feet of my great grandmother often enough to get the stories and to understand, this thing called life. It's not an easy journey, right? There's a lot of, twists and turns and ups and downs and roller coaster ride all over the place. So, one of the things that we're going to talk about today when we get to talking about today, we're going to talk about money, right? We are definitely going to talk about money and some of the things that I wish I had known, some of the secrets behind that black curtain when I was growing up, when I was started to build my life, not really understanding what this thing is all about. But Grandma's Cookie Jar, today it says, and we shared it on one of our other episodes. So this is I guess a half-eaten cookie, if you will. But nothing worth having comes easy. And I think that's what we sometimes think, that, the road to wherever we're going, sometimes we have those false expectations in our minds or in our heads, but it's not easy. If somebody had just told me that, or somebody told me that a long time ago, baby, if you expect for it to be easy, you're going to be flat on your butt time and time again, right? It's not easy, but guess what? It is doable. So the other side of Grandma's Cookie Jar of Wisdom today says, some things are worth fighting for. And I definitely buy into that. The thing that I think is worth fighting for me, is a legacy. Building a legacy for my children's children has always been just one of my points, right? So one of my I guess burning desires, like Napoleon Hill talks about in Think and Grow Rich, right? My burning desire to make sure that my family doesn't live in oppression and doesn't live in poverty, because there's a whole world out here and you change the experience when you level up in your money, right? So today we're going to talk about 13 habits of wealthy, right? And I'm going to make sure that I stick to my notes today, because I want to make sure that we really get this, because you know what? For me, this is the secret sauce. I want to see somebody tell me, somebody show me, what do I need to do, right? I know if some other people are, are obtaining wealth, and everything is not inherited, right? So how do you do it? If you're a regular person starting with humble beginnings or whatever beginnings, how do you build this thing? How do you build your assets? How do you diversify this portfolio? What does any of that mean? What about the black curtain? Is there a secret behind the black curtain? Can somebody give me an invitation? Because I didn't know that I wasn't supposed to be back there. So as I started to build and as I started to grow, I think it was a short that I saw, and it was so spectacular. It was about entrepreneurship. How the gentleman was on a trapeze, and he bounced up on one step, then he bounced back down, simulating that this is how entrepreneurship is. But also, even if you're not an entrepreneur, but you are building your wealth and you want to understand, how do I do this thing, right? He flipped, he bounced down, he came back up, went up two steps, something happened, knocked him back down. Man, I can relate to that. Can you relate to that? Came back up again to the fifth step, bounced back down. Then he got all the way up to like the seventh step, right? It's about 10 steps, if you will. Got to the seventh step, something knocked him back down again. Life, right? We get hit upside the head, something knocks us down. Back up again, and boom, back down again. You get all the way to the top, and then that's what? Boom, fall back down again. But he bounced back up, right? And then when he got up to the top, he's holding on. All of a sudden, he's like on shaky ground, and boom, back down again. Guess what? When he bounced up to that top, man, and he stood straight up, you can say, man, I didn't stop, right? I fell down, but I got back up. I fell down, I got back up. Somebody snatched the carpet out from under me. I got back up, right? Me, car crash, whew, got back up, right? All these things, divorce, all these things happen to us, but we get back up. But these are the steps. And I said, man, if somebody has showed me, and you, as you check off your list in your journals, I hope we have our journals. I have another journal I started too. Here's the wildest dreams. Here's another journal. Oh, it's kind of clashing with my dress today, but the wildest dreams, right? So there's another journal that I started because all of these projects, as they're starting to build, I'm so excited because all of the puzzle pieces are starting to come together, right? So the 13 habits, whoops, see, fall back down. Hold on. You're about to get back up. Bounce back up, right? Uh-oh. And this time, ooh, that's a good stimulation. I'm going to find that pearl handle on it because sometimes we fall down, we bounce back up, but we got to limp this time because we hit too hard, right? Or we got to, something happened. Oh my goodness. But you still put a bandage on it, put a brace on it, fix it back up and get back up, right? Here we got, what are we doing? We still bounce back up, even though the ball is gone, stimulating that, something has happened and, we're not the same anymore. But guess what? Sometimes we're even better, right? So let's keep going. So the 13 habits of the wealthy, and these just are so important. Stay to the end because I'm going to give you all 13 today, right? Ooh, okay, so we're going to start with number 1. And we talk about this all the time. So some of the things you might already be doing, right? Advise yourself. Talk to yourself, right? Talk to yourself. Remind yourself, look, I'm going to be an avid reader. I'm going to learn and I'm going to educate myself. Even just watching a podcast such as the Oasis Wellness of Life or the Ladies Listen Up podcast, whichever playlist that you're listening helps us to enrich ourselves, right? So the wealthy, I'm excited, so I'm going to calm it down a little bit. The wealthy, at least 2 books per month. Now, when we talk about books, we can either read those books in like reading paper books, or we can get them on audio, right? And start listening to audiobooks, right? Okay. At least 30 minutes daily. That means educating yourself 30 minutes daily, whether it's reading or whether it's by audio. Okay. They also start their day early. So we sleep about maybe 6 hours, 7 hours, right? But those long, I don't know how many hour days of sleep, look at all the things that are happening while you're asleep. So if your body needs to rest, reset, rejuvenate, but make sure that you are at least starting your day early, right? You want to start your day early, right? Exercise daily. That's a must, right? I feel so much better when I get up and I get my exercise, whether it's 10 minutes or whether it's 30 minutes. But take that exercise, get everything moving, right? Because you've been at a whole night's rest. So now you want to get everything back up and rejuvenated and all of that, right? So you want to exercise daily, whether it's running, whatever. That's another thing. Find out, what it is that turns you on with exercise, right? Getting to know yourself. Does it turn you on running, cycling, going to the gym, tennis, swimming, racquetball, whatever it is? Find that for you and get into it. For me, it's dance, or it's very aggressive exercise. That's what I love. So it does help me when I turn on some music and I dance. That's getting everything flowing in your body. I'll stay there because you all know what I feel about that health, getting your health in order. Making sure that you're budgeting, that you account for each dollar. That's a biggie, right? Let's pause there for a second. That's a biggie. Making sure that you budget, right? That you are budgeting every dollar, right? And we talked about the $5 bank, putting that $5 away, keep putting it away, and by the end of the year, see how much you've saved or how much you can take towards putting that towards an investment or something. So you're not pulling away from your everyday expenses, but you do have that money stashed away. They talked about, no more than about 20% on food, 10% on entertainment, 5% on vacations, 5% on auto loans or lease, making sure that you have that 6 months, worth of living expenses for your rainy day fund, no more than 25% on housing and 20% on food. You want to do about 20% on savings, and then you also want to work towards contributing to your retirement fund, right? And again, in the Smart Money Circle Club, we have all types of different, tools to help us to get there, right? You want to schedule your day, meaning writing down the activities. So when you plan your day out, when you look at the end of the week, you can check off all the stuff that you did get accomplished. If you don't plan it out, then you wonder, how did 8 hours go away? How did 10 hours go away, right? How did all this time go away? Ooh, let me get a little sip here. Be brave, be bold. Ooh, it's a little different. This is a tea with vinegar. Vinegar is great for us too, but we're going to keep on going. So schedule your activities, write it down, plan out your day, know what it is that you're going to get accomplished and what you're going to do, and you'll be amazed at how much you can get done in a day. And be careful about your appearance, as far as, adding some extra attention to your appearance. It makes you feel better on the inside, and it also attracts a different crowd or a different type of person into your arena, because relationships are so important. We're going to get to the relationships as well. But dress to suit your career, be neat and organized. That's always a plus, right? People do look at it, whether even I'll tell you a little story. When I was in the managing the apartment complex, right? And that was one of the things that we learned. This is I guess industry secret I'm telling, but that was one of the things that we learned when you start to take applications for people that are going to be residents into the community, that we paid attention to their appearance, paid attention to what they drove up in, paid attention to whether their music was really loud, paid attention to all of these things. So those things do matter inside, right? Those things really do matter, okay? Healthy eating. Listen to your doctors, your therapists, your naturopathic coaches, what have you. Be disciplined with what you put in. Make better choices as far as, are you gonna, drink water or drink that soda, or or that beer? Are you gonna, what are you going to substitute for, right? Just to help you to kind of continue to move forward. You never would think that all this stuff has anything to do with your wealth, but it absolutely does. Goal setting. Write down your goals and review them. So you're going to set them. That means you're going to write your short-term goals, which are like, what, about 1 to 3 to 5 years? Because let's say 1 to 3 years. The midterm goals from maybe 5 to 10 years. Then your long-term goals are 10 years or more, right? So you want to, where am I going? I always say California. Why do I say California? Maybe that's somewhere I need to visit, but let me say maybe Florida this time. If you want to go to Florida, what are you going to do? You're going to map it out. So that's all it is. It's just mapping out and goal setting, right? And then number 9 was investment. Okay, we need to make a shift. We don't want to lose our money or spend it. We want to grow it, right? And then we want to live off of that growth, right? So that's the ticket right there. It's the shift, right? Instead of making the money, spending it, you want to make the money, grow the money, and then live off of the excess, the return of your investments, right? We're going over this list really quickly. Might break it down each one, but right now we're just kind of going to go over it so we can start somewhere. Okay, so that was investments, right? And we know we talked about the investment type in the different asset classes, right? Now, again, that 20% that we talked about that you want to put over there towards those assets or towards the growing those assets, that's what that 20% is. Build relationships. Man, that is so important. Building good relationships. You want to first build relationships that are going to guide you. So that means you are investigating who you are in relationship with, and that you have people that are guiding you the right direction. So people that have established themselves, and people that are still seeking to reach their goals, but have a lot of knowledge and wisdom to impart into you, right? You want good partners, right? You want, if you own an establishment, you want to look for good workers, employees, suppliers. You want to actually help them, right? You want to make sure that you are in a good relationship, where people don't dread seeing you come, but they're excited to see you come, where you're basically you're the light, right? You also want to take responsibilities, right? You want to take responsibility for your action and understand that our failures, I call them lessons or blessings, right? If you fail at doing something, at least you tried it. Now, as long as it's legal, moral, and ethical, you just learn from it, right? You dust yourself off and you get back up. All of the greats kept going. A lot of people don't even hit their stride to their mid-50s, early 60s. That's when you've done all the dumb stuff, right? You bumped your head, you flipped over, you've done all kinds of stuff, right? Now, when you get in that arena, Now you're on your stride. First, you're grateful that you made it there, especially these days that you made it there. And now you start to pull from all of that information and everything that you've learned. And now, boom, here is your cake, right? One of those, what I used to say, my mama's 7 Up pound cakes, right? I always talk about a sweet potato pie, but today it's a 7 Up pound cake. Ooh, telling you, if you close your eyes, you think that you was drinking one of those good old 7 Ups, the 7 Ups that were real 7 Ups at that time. Okay, only a couple more, and we are done today, right? So your journal should be filling up now with all these great reference information, right? So take responsibility. If you've done something that you're not proud of, apologize for it. If you've hurt somebody, apologize for it and move on. Get rid of that toxicity. Get rid of it and move on, right? Roll right into number 12. Oh, I mean, no, I'm sorry. 10 was building good relationships. I got excited and ahead of myself. 11 was taking responsibilities and understanding that lessons or failures are lessons or blessings. Number 12 is avoiding toxic people. We're going to stay there for a second. Avoid negative, toxic people. One more time. Avoid negative, toxic people, right? And make sure, examine yourself. Make sure that you're not a negative, toxic person, right? Okay? So avoid toxic people. Stay positive. Don't let that negative energy touch you. Oh, they said, no negativity, right? Okay? And then you want to meditate daily, right? So you want daily quiet time alone so that you can direct your mind and you can get clarity, right? And I know once I stopped to do a meditation when I first started meditating, got into the meditation, and realized that my brain was like Grand Central Station. It was just all over the place. It was hard for me to come to a quiet place to just meditate and just be still, right? You'd be surprised at all the thoughts, the inspirations, all of the things that will come to you when you take that time out, right? I know I went through this pretty fast today, but I wanted to make sure that we got all 13 down. Did it excite you? Did it excite you to realize that you were already doing some of the success principles, right? Some of these are the habits of the wealthy. So man, oh man, what is it? What is your goal? What is it that you want to do? I hope you are listening, learning, and leveraging this information, but most importantly, I hope you are applying it and that you're sharing it with somebody else. So don't forget, like, share, and subscribe. Share this information with somebody else. All right, now, bye for now, and y'all stay fearless.